MLB postseason is here, baby. And while the Braves are not playing tonight, we still have 4 marquee matchups going on today. You don't want to miss this. This is the free 3, and I've got 3 best bets for you in the MLB tonight. Let's go. What's up, guys? It's your boy Noble Living, back with another DYF Bets video where I'm breaking down my favorite picks and plays of the day as you just try to get to the bag and make some money. Last night, we started off October the way that we wanted to. We didn't get the sweep, but we did go 2-1. We had a winning day. Cashing on Kenneth Walker anytime touchdown. No sweat bet there. Got that done in the first half. Cashing on Kenneth Walker over rushing attempts. We love to see that. Those attempts have been all money for us all year. We did lose on our teasers. The Giants could not get it done. That +8, I thought we were golden when Daniel Jones was streaking down the field, and guess what? He threw that pick 6, which completely changed the whole nature of that game. We also missed on the over as well. So 2 bad picks right there, but it's okay. 2-1 on the day. You can see our year-to-date record right here. We get in the month of October started off right. NFL record over 500. You love to see it. We've wiped the slate clean for MLB now that the regular season's done. So we're going to start the new record for the postseason. So make sure you guys are liking the channel, subscribing to the channel, staying tuned for all the picks that we're dropping. Because listen, we've got like 50 straight days of football now, including today, starting tomorrow. We've got like 50 straight days of football. I might not have a pick every single day in football, but I know we have a ton of sports that are on the way with MLB postseason, NBA at the end of the month, NHL starting next week. So you definitely don't want to miss these picks as we try to get to the bag and make some money together. So let's dive into our first best bets of the day. For my first best bet of the day, I'm going to go something a little bit different. I'm going to go with the future here. I'm going to go with the series winner. And I'm going to take the Blue Jays over the Twins to win their series. -105 on Bovada. Make sure you guys shop around so this way you get the best odds there. The odds have moved on this a little bit since I locked it in yesterday. I told you guys I was going to have a best bet for you in baseball today. That was the pick that I was going to give you guys. The series winner, I really like the Blue Jays in this matchup. Even though they're the underdog in the sense because they're the lower seed, I really love this. And why? Because the MLB postseason really comes down to 2 things: pitching and power. Which teams can limit the amount of runs that they give up, and which teams can crank out a few long balls when it matters the most. I mean, we saw this last year, right? We had the World Series matchup between the Astros and the Phillies. Why did the Astros make it to the World Series? Not only did they have one of the best lineups in baseball, but they had a lot of power. Yordan Alvarez, Jose Altuve, Kyle Tucker, and they also had great pitching. Framber Valdez and company, right? So, like, we see that. We saw the Phillies make it to the World Series. We saw all the home runs that they were hitting when they were upsetting the Braves. They're upsetting the Padres. The Astros were 4th in the home runs per game last year. The Phillies were 6th. So now it was no surprise that they went on deep postseason runs. And then when you look at their ERA, both of the teams were in the top 15 in ERA last year as well. So that's really what the postseason comes down to. Which teams can score runs, which teams have really good pitching. And both of these teams this year, the Blue Jays and the Twins, while they both have really good pitching, Toronto's 4th in ERA, the Twins are 5th. The thing that really points out to me in this matchup is the veteranship that both of these teams have, right? The veteran leadership. That's the part that concerns me, and also just the healthiness of both of these teams. The Twins are really banged up right now. Carlos Correa, probably their best overall player, is injured. Royce Lewis is injured. Byron Buxton, their power hitter, is injured. They're all dealing with injuries. This team has been carried by rookies over the past month or so, and that's not really going to get it done in the postseason. Because in the postseason, the stakes are heightened, the intensity is ramped up, the stadiums are full, everything matters. Everything is on the line, and that's a lot of pressure to put on rookies to carry you. Yeah, they might carry you in the regular season, but I don't know if they're going to be able to carry you in the postseason. And this Toronto Blue Jays team, they've all been here before. They've got a loaded lineup. Yeah, they underwhelmed this year in terms of performance, especially with the home run ball. This was a team that we saw last year and 2 years ago crush the baseball, but they didn't really hit the ball that we needed to see this year. But they still have a lot of veteran leadership. You got Bo Bichette. You've got Chapman. You've got Vlad Guerrero Jr. You've got a lot of guys who've been in this position before. I really think that experience plays dividends in this matchup here. And with one of the best baseball rotations being the Blue Jays, they're healthy. They've got a good bullpen. They've got really strong defensive principles. Toronto has a really good foundation here, and I think they're equipped to win this series, especially if they can keep these games close. If they can keep these games tight in terms of runs low, they can keep it 1 or 2 run ball game. I really think the favorite plays for Toronto in this matchup. And there's another little stat for you. The Twins have lost 18 straight playoff games dating back to 2004, 2005. That's crazy. 18 straight playoff games the Twins have lost. So do I think they win a game in this series? Yeah, I don't think they get swept, but I do think that the advantage flies with Toronto. I love the odds that I saw this at yesterday at -105, but again, I think it's might have bounced up on a few books, -110, -115. I still like that. Toronto is going to win this series. They've got the better pitching staff. They've got the better team, and I think that veteran leadership plays out here because of all the injuries that the Twins are dealing with. So give me the Toronto Blue Jays to win this series against the Twins as my first best bet of the day. Now for my second best bet of the day, I'm going to stay in that Twins and Blue Jays matchup, which that first game kicks off about 4 p.m. Eastern time today. And I'm going to take Kevin Gausman over 6.5 strikeouts, minus 120 odds on BetMGM. We've played this player prop several times this year and a few times over the last several weeks. We've kind of split it. We've hit more times than we lost, but we've split it over like the last few times that we took it. But I really, really love this matchup today because Kevin Gausman, he's been absolutely on fire with his strikeout pitch. And now that we're in the postseason, there's no reason why he shouldn't be able to do the same because he's been in this position before. Kevin Gausman finished the year with second in strikeouts in the entire major leagues, number one in the American League. He's averaging about 7.65 strikeouts per game, which I love to see when guys are averaging more than what their line is at. Love to see that. He's faced the Twins twice this year. He had 8 strikeouts in the first matchup in 5 1/3 innings. And in his second matchup, he got banged up pretty early, so he left the game before he even pitched 5 innings. So he only had 4 strikeouts in that matchup. But this is the thing. The Twins led the major leagues in strikeouts per game this year. Over 10 strikeouts per game. They're the only team to average more than 10 strikeouts per game this year. So that fits right into the hand of Kevin Gausman. And also, they were the 7th worst in strikeouts per game over the last 30 days, averaging 9.7 strikeouts per game. So that, again, falls right into the hands of Kevin Gausman. I love to see that. Now, when you dive into the numbers a little bit more, Gausman last year in the playoffs against the Mariners, he had 7 strikeouts and 5 2/3 innings. Seattle was nowhere near as bad as the Twins are this year in terms of strikeouts. Last year, I think the Mariners were like 19th out of 30 in strikeouts per game. Like I said, the Twins led the league in strikeouts per game this year. So I think that's the big difference. So if Gausman could have gotten 7 strikeouts against them, I know for sure he can get 7 strikeouts against the Twins today. And in 2 postseason starts for Kevin Gausman where he's pitched at least 5 innings, he's gone over this total in every one of the starts. He's had at least 7 strikeouts in both of those matchups. Today, Gausman's going to get on the road. He's going to pitch with confidence. He's going to make a statement out here. He might not win the game, even though I think they are going to win the game. I just told you they're going to win the series winner. But I know for sure you can take a look at his strikeout line over 6.5 as he's going to get that. Also, you might want to take a look at over his pitching outs. I saw that 15.5 on most books. I think that's kind of low. That means he just has to go 5 1/3 innings for you to win this bet. So I think that's pretty reasonable to ask for Kevin Gausman, the ace of this Blue Jays team. So I think right now, with the way that these Blue Jays are looking, they should be able to grab the win. But Gausman's been locked in, so give me over 7 strikeouts as the second best bet of the day. For my third and final best bet of the day, I'm going to go over to that D-backs and Brewers series. And I'm going to take the Brewers on the run line, minus 1.5. That's plus 115 odds. So let's double our money to end the night. And I really like this matchup because playoff baseball has started in Milwaukee. And I love the pitching matchup that we're getting. Corbin Burns on the mound versus Brandon Pfaadt. Now, I know that the D-backs had to still do a lot of work to get into the playoffs late into the season. So because of that, we're not going to see Zach Gallen in this matchup on maybe until game 2 or 3. And I think because of that, the advantage lies with the Brewers here, not only in this series, but in this matchup. Corbin Burns has been absolutely on fire for the Brewers over the past month. The veteran's been pitching like his Cy Young self, and I love to see that. Truthfully, the Brewers needed these performances from Burns because their playoffs started like a few weeks ago, in all honesty. I mean, they were in that deadlock NL Central race between them, the Cubs, and the Reds. They were the ones that came out on top, so they've been playing playoff baseball. They've been focused over the last several weeks, and I love that because this game tonight is not going to be any different for them. Now, Corbin Burns has faced the D-backs twice this year, and literally in both of those starts, there was like polar opposites. It was like a barbell game, right? His first start against the D-backs, 8 innings, 3 hits, no runs given up. Shutout ball. You love to see that for Corbin Burns. But in his second start against the D-backs this year, right, he only went 5 innings. He gave up 8 hits and 7 earned runs. So one game a shutout, second game 7 earned runs. Like what's going to give here, right? Today is the rubber match in between both of those starts. And I think that because of that, we got to ride with Corbin Burns in this matchup because I can't back Brandon Pfaadt. He has a 5.72 ERA. He's a rookie. He's never pitched in the postseason before. And this is just one of those things where it's a tough spot to put this young guy in the first game of the series on the road. Do I think that Brandon Pfaadt has been better than what his ERA has shown? Yes. I don't think he's as bad as the 5.72 ERA, but I can't back him because he's just been so inconsistent. You'll have one game where he pitches good, then you have another game where he pitches bad, and he just gives up a ton of contact. In his last start, he pitched 5 2/3 innings, a shutout ball against the White Sox. You love to see that. But in his start before that, he didn't even make it to the 5th inning. He gave up 6 runs and 2 home runs to the Yankees, which was a dismal offense in all honesty to end off the year. So I don't really like to see that. Now he has to go face his Brewers team on the road, who's been hitting right-handed pitchers really well over the last month or so. They've been on fire. Willie Contreras, I like him to get a hit today. I like Yelich to get a hit today as well. Like, I feel like they can exploit the fact that Brandon Pfaadt gives up a ton of contact, and he just doesn't have the dominant stuff that Corbin Burnes has. I think this is just one of those matchups where Corbin Burnes is going to come out on fire for the Brewers, be able maybe give up 1 or 2 runs, but keep this thing real low, and he's going to be able to manage this D-backs lineup. And another reason why I'm leaning towards the run line, if you want to take the overall money line, it is a little bit juiced. You may want to parlay that with the Rays on the money line. I like that parlay. I think it's like plus 150 odds on that parlay if you do like the Brewers money line and the Rays money line. But the thing is, why I like the run line in this matchup is because of the bullpens. We saw how bad this Diamondbacks bullpen can get at times, especially in the middle of the year, like around the All-Star break, like a few weeks before the All-Star break and a few weeks after the All-Star break. That's when the D-backs really fell from number 1 in the NL West all the way down the standings. And then there was a time where we didn't think this team was going to make the playoffs. And you know why? It's because of that bullpen. They blew so many leads. They blew so many saves. And then on the other side, the Brewers have one of the best bullpens in the majors. The Brewers bullpen is second in majors in ERA, while the D-backs are in the bottom 15. So I think if Corbin Burnes gets to the first 5, 6, 7 innings strong and the Brewers have a 1-run lead, I believe that the D-backs bullpen is good for giving up another run or 2 in this matchup. So because of that, I think that we should be able to get over the 1.5 runs. I'm not a big fan of taking run lines in the playoffs, as games are a lot more competitive, games are a lot more close, the adrenaline's running. But I think for the D-backs, if they're going to win games in this series, it's going to be high-scoring games. I don't think they're going to win games based getting into pitchers duels, and Corbin Burnes is not the guy that you want to get into a pitchers duel, considering how strong he's been over the past month or so. Burnes had a 2.58 ERA in the month of September, and in 5 starts, 3 of those were shutouts. Like, come on now. And one of those starts, he pitched a no-hitter all the way into the 9th inning. His team didn't give him any run support, so he had to come out the game. I think that the form that Burnes is in is going to be a lot better than what we're going to see from Brandon Pfaadt. He's never been in this position before. You're asking a lot of your rookie pitcher to start off a series in game 1. He's never been in this atmosphere on the road. So give me the Brewers on the run line plus 115 as my third and final best bet. Well, that's it for me today, my friends. 3 best bets, 3 winners that are coming your way. 1 series winner or slash a future, Blue Jays over the Twins. Make sure you guys are grabbing that. Second thing, player prop, Kevin Gausman over 6.5 strikeouts. And the third best bet is the run line and the Brewers matchup plus 115. If you want to just do a money line parlay, then just do the Brewers on the money line and do the Jays on the money line. I'm pretty sure I'm going to give that out inside my Telegram group, so there's an extra bonus bet for you. And if you want to see some of the other postseason plays that I'm taking, make sure you click on the link in the bio so this way you can join our Telegram group, because I guarantee you we're going to be taking some NRFIs, we're going to be playing some innings, we're going to be making a lot of money this postseason, so you definitely don't want to miss out on that. And as always, can't wait to see you guys make some money. Drop a comment, let me know what y'all taking, because I would love to tell you. And if not, then I'll see you guys tomorrow, where we'll come back with another winning day under our belt. All right, my friends, hopefully we can celebrate a sweep tomorrow. And as always, let's get to that money, let's get to that cheddar, dictate your fate, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Later, gang.